Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good week so far in trading. It's been an exciting week, a good week so far to start the year. Yesterday was crazy as far as the market goes, plus just what was going on in our nation. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. Did make a couple trades this week. We'll talk about those as well. And we'll take a look at the portfolio, how we're starting the year out, and just kind of talk about our game plan for the year. Hope you had a great new year, but we're focusing on the next year now, 2021, as far as our stocks go. And so had a closed out last year. Everything was good there. So let's focus on this year. That's a thing of the past. So now let's try to hang on to what we made last year and make the right moves here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our portfolio, jump over to that, and we'll talk about what's going on there. Okay? All right, so you see a new one here at the very beginning, KO, that's Coca-Cola. Bought that the other day. Coca-Cola had dropped like 4.5%. One day, I think it was 1.4, so that was about 3 days ago. And it's got a pretty decent dividend at 3%. But, if you watch my channel, I don't pay a lot of attention to the dividend because I'm usually in and out pretty quick on these things. But if it pays a dividend, you got to hang on to it for a year. That's always good. But KO, Coca-Cola, bought it the other day at 52.25. As you can see here, it's still gone down since I bought it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that 5-day chart on Coca-Cola. Let's see here. Not sure exactly why this thing's dropping, other than there was something going on with a court case they've got. But Coca-Cola's solid. That's one of Warren Buffett's biggest holdings, I believe, or used to be. I'm not sure if it still is, but let's take a look at this 5-day chart. You can see, I think this is where I bought on 1.4. Let's see here. Yeah. So when it dropped 4%, I jumped on it and held up pretty steady for a day or so. Then it's still been dropping a little bit. You can see the stair steps down here. So volume, take a look at the volume. Average volume is 15, so we got a still heavy volume here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Just watch Coca-Cola. That's again solid. It's 3.25% dividend. So if you got to hang on to it for a little while, it'll beat inflation a little bit there. So we're not too worried about it. It's a good place to put money besides cash. As you know, we've got a lot of cash. We're sitting right now at 74% cash. So one way to put that in another area would be buying something like Coca-Cola. Okay, so there we are. The new one we've added to our portfolio. Tilray. Now Tilray, as you can see, up 5% here. Now these pot stocks, Tilray and ACB, both have been on fire here lately. So let's take a look at Tilray. Tilray is, let's see here. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. 5-day chart, you can see the tick up here was 841 just a few days ago at the close of the year. Now it's always all the way up to 1134, but it did get up here to 1234. So that's a good little gain there in just a little short period of time. And look at the volume here. You're talking about a heavy volume of 44 million versus 21 million. So I always like to see that heavy volume when these things are going up. That means somebody's interested for some reason. As you can see, you can kind of ignore these big peaks here, but you see this steady gain up all the way through here, this area here. See this? So if you just kind of follow that, forget these big jumps, but it's heading up pretty good there. So we like that. Tilray and again ACB. We'll take a look at ACB here in just a minute. XSPA, that one's been hanging in there a little bit. Another COVID stock. So let's take a look at that 5-day chart. See, it's pretty steady. Nothing major going on there. Regular volume. Nothing exciting going on with that one. We are having a pretty decent year so far. We'll talk about that in just a minute. NKLA. Okay, NKLA, that one's doing pretty good. You see 10% up today. Um, this is the one that uh, was an electric car company, truck company, more focused on truck, I believe. And you can see here that it's got regular volume, but this one's had a rough go there for a while. We'll go ahead and look at the 5-day chart, and you can see it looks like it's turning a corner here. And this is probably due to the Biden administration coming in, anything to do with anything green as far as, electric cars, the fuel cells that they do here, those type of things. So that's going to be something you're going to want to watch, Nikola. And I may add to that one. I've made pretty good money on that last year. Took a beating on what I'm holding. I think I'm down probably almost 50%, so I'm probably in around 33 or 34. Uh, so we may have to start cost averaging that. I want to see it go up a little bit more, just to get a good feel and make sure it's not, some kind of temporary thing here. HTBX, HTBX, HTBX has done pretty well since their reverse split that they did. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. You can see here a good little run here the last few days. No volume hardly. I mean, you're talking about less than 1 million shares. I don't like that. I don't really like. I like things that trade over 1 million, and this one's trading under 1 million. But it's doing good. It's hanging in there. I like what I'm seeing there. It's upward trend, and we've had a lot of them on the upward trend here at the beginning of the year. So that's why we're having such a good start to the year. So Novavax is 128. I think it was higher, much higher than that the other day. Let's see here. We got I noticed this tonight. They finalized an agreement with Commonwealth of Australia for 51 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. So they've been busy, but you see the volume here is still low. Take a look at the chart here. You've had a good little pop here the last few days. If you go like the 1 month chart, you can see we were down here not too long ago. We tried to buy it a couple times here, and we missed out on it. Sure hate that now, but you're back up to this range here where it hits these walls. So it wouldn't surprise me to see this thing pull back, but there's some news coming out on this one any time now for that phase 3 that's going on over there in Europe and I think Australia as well. So don't be surprised if you don't see it jump up one day. But we're out of it right now. We don't have any, but some of you may still have yours. XOM, let me tell you a little bit about that. I've still got it on here, but I no longer hold this stock. Yesterday, during all the excitement with what was going on at the Capitol, this thing had run up pretty good. I'd actually gotten into the green on it, and as I was driving home, I was listening to what was going on in Washington, and had a pretty good gain going for the day on the whole portfolio. And I noticed it had just about cut itself in half, and within about 20 minutes after all that news started. So you can see the little dip here. Let's go back to the 1-day chart. Oh yeah, that'd be 5-day. But this would have been yesterday, I think. No, let's see here. There it was, right in this area. So you see, it was right up here. It was doing good. I was in the green, and then it just started to fall. And I said, well, I pulled off the side of the road, and I unloaded my shares of Exxon Mobil because I was about even on that. I actually ended up losing 0.1% on what I sold there, but parked some cash on the sideline. I didn't know what today was going to hold for us, but yesterday everything kind of settled down. So, today was an up market day. But you can see it rushed up this morning, and then it came back down. But that's I sold at 44.54, so we're not too far off of that. But I really didn't want to hold it anyway. I've got some other oil stocks in my portfolio, in my other portfolios. I've still got some MPC. I've got some rig, and I just got rid of some MRO not too long ago. So didn't need any more oil. I think it's still going to go up the way this market's been going with the gas. Probably not a bad thing, especially if the vaccine comes through. Uh, Not a bad thing to be holding on to. U.S. Steel is another one. I had some in my cash account, if you recall. We'd sold everything in the other accounts. But yesterday, same deal. We was sitting there with a buddy of mine, and we was eating lunch. Watched this thing go up, and it just kept going up. It was up like $3 and something for the day. So uh, it got up to around 20. I think I sold it 21 something. I don't. Let me see here if I can get that real quick. 21 something, I believe, is what I sold at. Let's see here. Oh, that was my cash account. It was running really good, and let me just bear with me while I log in here on my phone to my cash account. Uh, like I said, we were sitting there enjoying a good Cajun lunch and had some good gumbo, and sitting there, and we were watching that U.S. Steel, and I said, "Man, I had already told myself I was going to sell at 20, and but I changed my mind, and so for some reason I'm not being able to pull that up, but I think it was 21, almost $22. So I had already told myself I was going to sell at 20 when it hit 20. So we were sitting there eating when it hit 21 and got up over. I think it got up over 22. I sold it somewhere around 21.87 or something like that. I think it was. So that was the rest of my U.S. Steel. I was actually up 280 something percent on that. So I took that and pocketed it. So I don't like to sell a lot when I'm in cash, but on a cash account because you got to deal with capital gains and stuff. But hey, I had to take that. So uh, good gain there. I hadn't put it back into anything. I'll keep these on here because these are the ones I like to watch. Some of these that we got rid of. I may take XOM off, but U.S. Steel is one I trade all the time, so I'll probably keep it on here. ACB, we had as you can see too. Also, U.S. Steel did drop a little bit today, so looks like it might have been a decent move. ACB down today, but it's been on a pretty good run here lately, along with the other pot stocks. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it had gone up pretty good. So you can see here, and it did have a little bit of pullback today. No major volume on the pullback. So that's kind of things that we look for when it pulls back. Take a look at that volume. When it goes up, take a look at that volume. I always like to look at the volume. Uh, so, uh, but that's our portfolio. A good start to the year. Really, really thrilled with how we're starting out. Actually up about 3.5% already. So 74% cash. Um, that's the year ago was 6%. So, like I said before, we're holding a bunch of losers, but they've been beat up so bad. Any kind of little run in the market, they're going to probably go up because they've just been beat up so bad. So, if you looked at that other video, I talked about it. If they all broke even, which Exxon Mobil was one of them that did. Of course, U.S. Steel is way ahead of even, but if they break even for the year, we'd be sitting at about a 20% gain. Uh, so I may just sell them as they get even. Who knows? Just depending on how things look. So we bought Coca-Cola 52.25. We sold XOM at 44.54 for a 0.1% loss, and then we sold that U.S. Steel at 21.80 something. I think it was. And that was like a huge gain, 280 something percent that we had in our cash account. So good start to the year. Uh, I'm out of Novavax. It's one I like to trade. It just hasn't got back down. I was trying to get it around that 110, 109, 108, those levels, and just never made my trade. I was a little leery anyway. But hey, I wish I'd got it now because it's way on up there to 120 something again. So, but we're going to keep watching these stocks. I've got plenty more I've got watching, but the market's just so high right now. Don't feel comfortable buying a whole lot. That's why I'm sitting at that 74% cash. Of course, if you can get an individual stock that's sinking, that's hitting a good dip and a good support level, then I don't hesitate to jump in on something like that. But Coca-Cola's not one I've bought before. I just saw it had dropped the other day, and I know just from studying Warren Buffett and some of his trades that was a big believer in Coca-Cola. Now I don't know if he's still in it or not, but I jumped on that. I just think they'll be okay. If you think about Coca-Cola, uh, a lot of their venues and things like that are shut down or less capacity, and so they're probably not selling a lot of Cokes and those things, and just a lot of things that have been affected by that COVID vaccine, the COVID virus. So once that vaccine comes out and it's getting distributed pretty good, people will get back to normal. These venues will fill up again, and they'll be selling a lot of Cokes. Okay, so that's my thinking. I hope I'm right. So, but I hope you've had a good week. We have. We're gonna be hoping tomorrow is not one of your typical Fridays, but it probably will be. We've had a really good run these first 4 days, and would like to close the week in the green. And if we can get even a good even day tomorrow, would be nice to close. All right, so have a good week of trading, and we'll talk to you later. I'll be back on here probably sometime Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. Have a great day tomorrow, and close out the week strong. Thanks. Bye. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to do that by clicking this button right here. Click that button, smash that like button if you like the video. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And we're very close to the 100 subscriber level, and would love to get to that level in the first part of the year here. And I need your help to do that, so don't forget to click that button right here. Thanks. Bye.